If you didn't know, you have to get your real ID before May 7th if you're planning on doing any type of domestic travel without a passport. You have two options. You can do the real ID or you can do the enhanced driver's license. Getting the appointment was actually probably the hardest part. Everybody is trying to get an appointment to get a real ID. I don't know about you guys, but I plan on doing a lot of traveling this year, and whether it's domestic or international, I want to be prepared. They recommend to go online to actually schedule the appointment. Nothing was coming up for me. So what I did was actually call them. You will hear a few prompts to direct you to stay on if you want to make an appointment. It will like ask you which location you want to go to, and they will provide a list of times. When I made the reservation on the phone, I actually didn't get a confirmation code. You could always check the reservation system where you check online for a existing reservation and you just type in your first and last name. That's going to be important for later because you will need it to actually enter the building. Make sure you remember what time and put in your calendar ahead of time because no one will remind you that you have an appointment. The appointments are only going to be harder to get because so many people want to get their real ID before the deadline, and the deadline is May 7th. But like I said, you don't need it unless you're flying domestically without a passport. But if you have a passport, you can fly anywhere internationally or domestically. The only issue that will arise is for those who don't know this rule and they come in with their IDs or they come in with their license thinking that they can travel the way they used to, and then they'll be turned away. But aside from being turned away, it will create a line for people who are waiting behind them. When you get to the DMV, there was essentially no line to go in. There is a security guard that's placed out front, so they will be checking if you have a reservation within the time frame. So when you come in, you have to have your reservation pulled up. They'll give you a form to fill out. I was under the impression that I needed an enhanced driver's license because my license is actually expiring this year in 2025. So I was like, okay, let me just renew and then just enhance it. So my confusion was I thought the real ID was just like a separate ID. It is a separate ID for those who don't have a license, but because I do have a license, my real ID will be on my license. An enhanced driver's license, you pay $30 versus if you pay for a real ID, it's just $5. Because my driver's license was expiring, technically I needed a renewal. So my fee actually came out to $80. You have to bring some key essential documents before you go. If you do not have these documents, you will not be able to get anything. You're gonna need proof of like citizenship. You either had to have a passport or a social security card or a birth certificate. For proof of residency, like that you live in New York City, you need two forms of proof that you live, the place that you live. You need to print them. It has to be a current bill and a current statement. And they have other options that you can bring if you don't have those. I spent about probably an hour and a half at most at the DMV. Also, bring a pen. The first time they call you, it's just for the photo alone. And the second time they call you will be for like the actual prepping of your new real ID. I'm hoping these tips helped you guys in any way, shape, or form. Any questions, just drop them below. And happy traveling!